So last month I got selected to do the Shine. The Shine is a challenge where you get $400 that have been gathered communally at an event to do as much good as you can before the next event. It's been a really incredible month. Winning the Shine as a challenge was really a huge surprise for me and hit home and meant a lot because this is literally what I want to do with my life. I think all the time about little things I can do or buy that help people's life get better. And it really was an impetus for me to sort of step it up. I wanted to pick things that everyone could do. I have a really strong belief that the changes that we want in the world and the issues that we face are not things that necessarily have to be solved from a large level, but that we can all easily solve each other's problems. So I picked a lot of things that were small that anybody sitting here will be able to take a little bit of money and go do. So the night after we got the money, we were in Leimert Park, and this guy rides by with a bag, and he's like, $10? And it's like, I don't really want to buy this bag for $10, but something told us that maybe this could be the first person we help. And so it turns out that he has this dog, and he's trying to get him food, and he usually goes to the dollar store to get him food. We tell him to meet us at a certain gas station, and then we come back with a really big bag of dog food for him, and mangoes and bananas. It was the best feeling you could ever have. Somebody has a need and you're able to feel it and how happy they are. And it didn't take anything but $13, but he really needed that dog food. And it really made my mind click as to how I have that power all the time and all of us have that power all the time. I noticed like to get on the train and you don't have enough money or you have to ask the bus driver for a ride. When you don't have money to get somewhere where you need to go and you have to get on the train and worry about getting arrested. I've been in situations where I didn't have money to get where I needed to go. I just wanted to help other people who might be in that same situation. So I decided to get 7 tap cards with 7 trips loaded on them and give them out randomly. As soon as we got on the train, we came across these teenagers and asked them if they paid to get on the train. It's funny because you're this random person coming up to someone, asking them whether or not they paid. They're really excited to get the card, so that was a cool experience. One of the guys was just like digging through his bag looking for his tap card, and I just handed him one. You're probably thinking, how can you tell who needs a bus pass and who doesn't? Like, some people have tap cards, some people don't. But we sat at the train station and we watched as people walked up to the elevator and didn't pay. And one of my favorite situations came out of that. We saw this guy kind of like walk up to the turnstile and not pay. I sat down and talked to him and it was really interesting. He was one of the most skeptical out of all the people I gave tap cards to. I asked him like, did you pay to get on the train? And it took a really long time for him to give me an answer. He was really skeptical of me at first, just wondering like, is this girl the feds or what? It turns out that a couple of years ago, he was actually arrested for not having his fare. They took him to jail. He told me like, yeah, they took me to jail because I didn't have my fare. And he explained that he was just getting off work and he was going to cash his check and, you know, that it really helped. It's even crazier to think that we can spare each other's freedom just by looking out for each other and caring about each other. Happen, we had to sort of like figure out like, okay, you go over there and I'm gonna come from this side. And in any normal situation, you might be thinking, I might be getting jumped. Why are these people looking at me? But what if every time it looked like somebody was suspicious or they wanted to hurt you, like they actually came to help you? And what if all the conspiracies of the world were good? We have the power to make that happen just with little simple acts. We can turn people's fears into expectations of really fun things. One of the things I always think about is food. I know tons of people who eat really bad quality food, shop at places that don't have great food. And the first thing that I thought of was getting them gift cards. I've always wanted to just get people gift cards and go to the restaurants where they were at and tell them, here's $20 or $10 so that you can buy fresh food and experience it. So I designed these little cards that had images on them of fresh food. I made these really nice envelope that said, we have a gift for you. Do you accept, yes or no? And inside there was information about the food that they're eating and encouragement for the fresh food that they could buy. And we had Trader Joe's gift cards and Whole Foods gift cards, and we did a farmer's market one too. We got 7 cards and 7 envelopes and gave them out as gifts. We had some really great encounters. It was funny to watch as people hesitated to take the envelope. A couple of people asked us if there was a bomb inside. Like, how could there possibly be a bomb inside this flat envelope? It was great to be able to give people something that they could use. I always think about how there's somebody at the grocery store who $12 could really help right now. Another thing that I think about all the time is how there are all these spaces around the city that look really dreary, and how there's a ton of advertisements that are really expertly designed and pretty in their own way, but how great it would be if there were messages that were nice, just poking out to say hi to people as they go about their day. So I made posters that said things like stay bright with little inspirational quotes and feel better with really pretty landscape design, and put them around the city. So one of the biggest things I'm excited about being able to do with the Shine On Challenge is bringing a really nice mural to the Crenshaw corridor. There are all these beautiful paintings all around Santa Monica and Venice that really brought life back and helped make it look nicer there and make it a more inhabitable place. Going through the Crenshaw corridor, I realized that that's something that we can have here that people really need, and it will really help boost people's spirits and have better thoughts. So I reached out to the organization that did it, which is called Beautify Earth, and I'm really excited to say that in June we're gonna put our first mural up in the Crenshaw corridor. It goes to show how something so simple as maybe a couple of $100s on some buckets of paint and some creativity and some intention can really change the face of an entire area and change the course of people's lives. And you get to have something that lasts and benefits lots of people for the same amount of money that you might spend on a combination of shoes, clothes, and food that you don't need. What if everyone took $100 or $60 out of their check just to do something like this each month? That's something that a lot of people can do. It occurred to me that it isn't really money. It's not about whether or not we have money that determines what we do. It's about the spark that's inside you and the intention. So the fact that we had this money set aside to do this, and the fact that we had the intention to do it, is what gave rise to the magic that was these events. Because most people have the means to be able to do this, but they just aren't using creativity in that way. And the biggest thing I could say to everyone is just help each other. If you take anything from this video, it's just to help each other and to know that you can, and all it takes is you wanting to. One of the biggest things I want to say is that this happened because of you guys, the people who are sitting in this audience now, donated, chipped in, and this is magic that you helped to create just by being here. So thank you.